Hello, this is a video of some of the pianos that have recently come into stock. I haven't had time, I'm afraid, to make an individual video of many of the pianos, sorry about that. But this, starting off with this Yamaha Concert Grand, which came in last week, and very pleased to get this piano in, made in 1978, which is a period of time when Yamahas were at their best tone-wise, I believe. And it has ivory key tops, one-piece ivory, slightly yellowed, as you can see perhaps on the video, but the tone, underlying tone, is excellent, with a very rich tone, as you could expect in the bass from a 9-foot long grand piano. But we have felt that we need to redo the hammers on this piano, also hammer shanks and rollers, and to do quite extensive work on the mechanics, because it's been well used, but exceptional piano. Now, this here is a Steinway grand piano. This is made in 1963, model M, and again, the Steinways in the 60s had a wonderful tone. In fact, manufacturers in those days, you had a lot of the old school in the trade still, so you do get some exceptional pianos. This has ivory keys too, and model M is 5'7", 5'8" long, I believe. So very good quality ivories. Again, this is one-piece ivory, so for that sort of age, you've still got the one-piece ivory as opposed to two-piece, which you get on older pianos. And this one doesn't need extensive work on it. Hasn't had so much use as the Yamahas had, but it needs a lot of reconditioning anyway. In fact, it hasn't been played extensively either. I don't have a video of this piano, I'm sorry about that. You normally would make a video of these top quality grand pianos, but not had the time so far. It's a busy time of year for us at the moment as well. It often is the beginning of the year. But you can see the soundboard is perfect. The hammers are hardly worn. If I was to show you the hammers, you'd see there's very, very little indentation. Little bit of scuffs on the casework, so we're going to get a polyester specialist to come along and help us with that. But it's probably the only real defect, because the piano tone is excellent. This is a Lipp grand piano. I have got the video of this one. It's been out and come back in. We lent it out to someone whose grand we were fully restoring. And we've restrung this piano, and Lipp is if you've seen other videos of ours, how keen we are on this maker piano. And it's 5'8" long, and just a very, very fine, warm tone on Lipp grand pianos. I've actually got one in my own home as well at the moment, and I have very often had Lipp grand pianos because I'm particularly keen on them. So on the listing of this piano, there is a video already. But you can see that we've restrung the piano, we've reconditioned the soundboard, and also finished the frame as well. This is a Steinway Model K upright piano. We have fully restored this piano, and it's been French polished, beautiful French polished case, we believe, and has we have replaced the ivory keys on this, so they're replacements. There's good quality replacements as we can find, but it is an exceptional piano. We've put a brand new Steinway action in it as well. So looking inside the piano, you can see restrung with the best quality German strings that we can come up with, and also that's bass and treble strings. Model K, there we are, that's the serial number of the piano. And a new Renner action. We had Renner come over to help us to install this, because it's actually quite complicated sometimes installing a brand new action in an old piano. So huge amount of work gone into the piano. We believe it's worth it. If you just have a quick listen to the tone of it, that's middle C. As good as you can get an upright piano, really. And of course, we've been working a lot on the touch to try and make that as refined as a new piano. This is a Bechstein Model A grand piano that will actually be a rental piano. We've got a video of this. The last video I made actually was of this piano. We're having to replace all the leads in the keys because they're seized up, they're oxidized. But it will become a very nice piano actually. Perhaps I'll just quickly show you the bass. So Model A Bechstein, about 1912 I think. This U1G's gone back into stock after we sold it about 12 or more years ago, and the client sold it back to us. That's quite common in the piano trade, where perhaps child's moved away out of home and the piano's not needed anymore, so we often buy the same piano back in again, which is very helpful. This is U1G 1971, one of our absolutely favourite. I just love the tone of the Gs. It's very mellow. It's slightly, the H is the most common one, but the G runs a bit parallel with the H. It's about, I think it's about 1969 to 1973 or so. Some has a richer tone, a slightly warmer tone for me than the H does. This is a Knight K10. It was made in 1974. As you've seen on many other videos, we love Knight pianos. They're very stable. By the way, this has a nice piano stool that came in with it. This is a leather-topped fixed leg piano stool, so very high quality. And we do manage to get some of these in, which is very helpful. And this piano, you can tell by well, perhaps not the modern ones so much, by the pedals how much wear pianos had, but the casework's been kept very well. And let's just quickly listen to the tone. We haven't tuned it since it's been in, and they're just warm and extremely stable pianos, Knights are. I've shown this on other videos. It's peeling off of it. So this instrument has been specially constructed to withstand severe extremes of heat, dryness, humidity and central heating in any part of the world. And they did export a lot of pianos, very fastidiously made. There's other videos on Knights, but they have a continuous bridge here, so it's very important, very well constructed, extremely stable pianos, one of the most stable uprights. So if you want a small piano and a high quality one, you can't get much better than a Knight. This is a Rogers upright piano, one of our favourite English makes, and made in, I believe this is made in 1926. It has ivory keys. So top quality piano, 88 notes, some older ones are 85 keys, and just very good quality. Let's have a quick look on the inside. So it's overstrung, underdamped, and we're just reconditioning this. We don't need to, the tuning pins are tight, it's just something we look for, and it's a nice warm English sound. And we just fine regulate the piano, really. It's very stable tuning wise, so that won't be a problem. And this Welmar upright piano, this is the Welmar made in the 30s. This is a high quality ivory keyed piano, so been refinished on the outside. Made in the period when they were teamed up with Bluthner a lot, so you actually see this inside here, this sticker that says Welmar. I have to get close enough to see it. Sorry, it's a plaque, not a sticker. Welmar, manufactured in London by Bluthner and Company Limited, and must not be confused with the famous Bluthner pianos made in Leipzig. Well, it's very much lots of Bluthner influence on the piano, and if you're a piano person, you'll know that Bluthner is one of the top 4 main names. So, good piano, very good, and excellent. Again, we've reconditioned this piano rather than fully restored it. Tuning pins are tight, very good tone. As you know, most of the Welmars we're getting are later Welmars from the 70s and 80s. But these earlier ones made in the 30s are exceptional pianos, and we do a lot of Welmar Grands that are made in the 30s as well. So very high quality piano. Now, before we move to our high street showroom, quick look at this Bluthner Grand, which I believe I have got a video of when it was just into the polishing room, and now it's more or less finished. Not quite there yet, but just finish off the outside of the piano. But it's been French polished, as you can see. There's 30 coats of French polish approximately, and then it's finished off with rub down and then antique wax. That's bits of the piano. So the whole piano has obviously been repolished. If we travel over to here, we can see the lid over the keys, and then the top lid here, and then that's the front part, and this is the rest of the top lid. So there's a bit of a shadow there. That's not a difference in polish colour, but that's the kind of work we're always doing on pianos. Now, moving to our high street showroom, this is a Steinway Essex It's 155 centimetres long. It says they're designed by Steinway and Sons. It's actually made in the Pearl River factory, which is a completely modernised factory in the south of China, and makes a huge number of pianos. I think it might be the biggest Chinese factory. Let's have a look at the hammers here. You see there's really no wear on them at all. I haven't got time to take the action out today, I'm sorry about that, but there's no wear. You just see the actual marks of the strings and no wear on them whatsoever. And the actual weighting is very even. We've also lubricated it and made it as refined as we can too. But for a piano, it's made in 2007 and really had no use whatsoever. It's like buying a new piano really, and it does have a very mellow sound. For the length of the piano, it's a very good bass as well. Now finally, this is a Feurich 179 centimetre grand piano, and we've actually sold this last year, and the client's now bought a top quality grand piano. This is a really high quality grand piano as it is anyway, and we did extra refinement, an extra day I think of refinement on this piano after it came in, and the client since also had precision touch designing. We just wanted to see what effect it would have, and which is kind of like meant to be further refinement. We've got the certificates attached to the display, the listing of this piano, so you'll be able to see them. Very interesting really, and it's only just come back in, so we haven't really formed an opinion on that. But we do refine the piano ourselves to a very large extent. It's as good as we can get it really before we sell it anyway. So there's always been a preferred model of piano, this one, the Feurich 179. Really very high quality grand. These come in two finishes, by the way. This is the sort of more traditional finish of piano, but they also come in a chrome finish or a sort of grey frame, which we have a 179. Photos of that as well, but this has a nice beautiful veneer on the inside too, bird's eye maple I think it is. So that's the Feurich 179 grand piano, just to finish off with. I'm sorry I haven't had time to make longer videos, but hopefully we'll manage to get some more time to make videos, especially as the more expensive pianos. This is very refined touch indeed. It's very responsive, certainly as good as any new piano. Plenty of other videos about this piano, this model of piano, which has always been one of our favourite new pianos, and we've sold many of them. And to deal with Feurichs, we've visited them in Austria, and just very responsive firm, very keen to adopt new ideas. It has a great dynamic range, and it can also be played very finely as well. Thank you very much for listening.